Hot on the heels of AI 4, it's AI 5, because I know how many hits really bad poetry gets on modern day YouTube. You know the drill. I find some abandoned stuff, I muse on it, I get poetic. Hit it! I've been cataloguing abandoned items for many years now. Indeed, my full records will be released to the British Library upon my death, so that the public will have access to all my research for the rest of time. So, it really does genuinely surprise me when I find something abandoned that I've never found abandoned before. In this case, a loo brush. Quite a nice loo brush too, fashioned by master craftspeople from chrome and glass, a classic combination for any modern bathroom. In fact, it barely looks used, although I concede I didn't actually check the bristles for fecal matter, which makes me wonder, why would anyone abandon a perfectly serviceable and, as far as these things go, pretty attractive loo brush like this one? There are only 3 plausible explanations. First, that they weren't using the loo brush and so ditched it. Second, the bathroom had just been remodelled with a pine motif, and the glass and chrome no longer matched the new interior design. And third, the couple who ditched this have just moved in together, both having been recently divorced, and both arrived with their own loo brush, so one had to go. But if this lovely brush was the one that got abandoned, what on earth did the other one look like? I can only assume it was the Zodiac Crystal Toilet Brush, which retails at a cool £779, worth every penny. Although, once that brush loses its pristine sheen and the crystal becomes smeared with brown streaks, it won't be quite as beautiful as it looks here. Just as it's always a good idea to visit a house that you're thinking of buying at night time, it's always wise to imagine what your loo brush might look like after it's been performing its primary function for a year or two. Anyway, what I love about this is its positioning next to 4 bags of garden waste. I've had a think about it, and this is what I think happened. That's right, I've done another one of those tic-tac style videos. Have you taken all that garden waste out?
Yes.
Oh God, when?
A minute ago.
Oh, so it hasn't been picked up yet?
No.
Great, I want to get rid of that old loo brush. Now we've got that Zodiac Crystal Toilet Brush at the bargain price of £779.
What?
Yeah, I'll just put the old one from Wickes out next to the garden waste.
I'm not following.
Well, when the council come and pick up the garden waste,
Yeah.
they might take the loo brush too.
So they'll come along, collect the 4 green bags of sticks, and then absent-mindedly pick up the loo brush too, or perhaps mistake the loo brush for a green bag of sticks?
Exactly.
Worth a go.
There's a fine line, isn't there, between abandoned items and, flagrant fly tipping. A bed, then. Has someone left it out here as a pure act of altruism? A generous donation to any local person who might need a fold-up bed for house guests or, a rejected spouse? Or have they just opened their garden gate and dragged it out in the dead of night and hastily dumped it out of pure laziness? I think we know which is more likely. Humans are scum, aren't we? Having said that, I do quite like the concept of beds on streets. I saw another bed on the street the other day here. And I even saw a brand new double mattress, still in its thick, clear plastic wrapping, inexplicably abandoned just near London's Leicester Square. But I forgot to take a picture of it. I was in a rush. Sorry. But beds on streets I do like. Could be really useful for anyone who's tired after walking a lot. I mean, why should we only have hard wooden benches to sit on in the wild? Why not comfy beds? There should definitely be more beds in parks. Joggers, for a start, would be very appreciative of them. I realise, of course, there are plenty of issues here regarding health and safety, misuse of beds by teenagers, and the potential of the disturbing accumulation of various fluids in the fabric of the mattresses. But perhaps if they had a wipe-clean surface, park rangers could be employed to go round and sponge them down every few hours. Well, it's a work in progress. In almost all cases, foodstuffs do not count as abandoned items. If you ever see any foodstuffs lying on a pavement or in the gutter, that tends to be just rubbish someone has carelessly thrown away while shrugging and murmuring, biodegradable. But there's always a but, and in this one case, the but is that a fully wrapped head of iceberg lettuce does very much qualify as an abandoned item. A delicious abandoned item in more ways than one because, number one, iceberg lettuce is delicious, and number two, it is delicious that for the first time in my life I have come across such a magical abandoned item as this lettuce, lolling about on the wet morning pavement as if it's just been severed from its lettuce body. The gloriousness of this lettuce is wondering exactly where it came from, and I have 4 concepts to share with you. 1. It somehow toppled out of someone's overfilled shopping bag, although this was at about 9:30 a.m, and who does a weekly shop at that time of day? And how do you not notice the sound of a falling head of lettuce? Look, I did an experiment. I mean, that's quite loud. You'd notice that. It's not like dropping, packet of cress or something. 2. It was being delivered by a supermarket delivery service, and it was in fact a replacement for a cos lettuce. Sadly, it was rejected because it's iceberg, not cos, so the driver/deliverer just chucked it away in disgust. 3. Some kids had stolen it from a nearby cost cutter and were playing football with it on the way to school, although it's pretty pristine and doesn't appear to have been booted about while someone stood in a makeshift goal between 2 bins pretending to be Alan Lettuce. Alan Fettis is a legendary Hull City goalkeeper with 25 Northern Ireland caps to his name, and he now coaches at Manchester United. His surname rhymes with lettuce, and it's possible that that pun was appreciated by just one person. John Smith, I hope you're watching. Or 4. This was a leftover lettuce from Drury Lane's famous lettuce market, which proudly sells iceberg, cos, aka romaine, butterhead, coral, frisee, loose leaf, oak leaf, radicchio, who also played for West Ham for a bit. Another one for John Smith there. Speckled, stem and little gem lettuces to London's most ardent lettuce lovers on the 3rd Friday of every month between 6 and 8 a.m. Anyway, a lovely lettuce. But I should add that there are perils when it comes to documenting abandoned items. On this occasion, it was busy around there that morning, and I received a lot of looks, ranging from curious to furious, while I photographed the lettuce, then walked away without putting it in a bin, finding a compost heap, or tucking it away in my bag for later. People were not happy, but I'm a professional, and I will continue documenting these treasures for your benefit while I still have a breath in my body, or unless my viewing figures get much lower. Anyway, let's have some art. Lettuce, Alan Fettis, lube brush holders, and a mattress. Lettuce, a head of lettuce, the head of Fettis, severed head, sliced head, asphyxiated, lettuce. Where is its body? Where is its body? brush holders and a mattress. We see the abandoned items all the time. But why don't we see them being abandoned?
Lettuce, Alan Fetis, lube brush holders and a mattress.
Creeping on our pavements. Watching us, watching you, watching us, watching them.
Don't get too close.
Lettuce, Alan Fetis, lube brush holders and a mattress. Oh, God! Make it stop!
It will never stop.